The fast-paced world of social media, where generic content like how-tos and tips are flooding our feed, creators need to find unique and authentic ways of standing out from the mass. And one powerful technique every content creator needs to master is storytelling. By incorporating narratives into your content, you can captivate your audience, evoke emotion, and establish deeper connections with your audience. On today's video, we'll explore the art of storytelling on social media and why today you need this more than ever. But first, let's try to understand, why do stories resonate so much with people? Unlike generic content, stories have the power to evoke emotion, trigger actions, become memorable, and leave a lasting impact. When creators share their challenges, triumphs, or personal experiences, they invite their audience to join them on an emotional journey. By creating relatable and compelling narratives, you can establish a genuine connection with your audience, which will result in fostering loyalty and, of course, higher engagement in your content. Now let's take a look at how you can use storytelling in content creation. The best part about storytelling is that it can be incorporated seamlessly into any piece of content, whether this is a blog, an email, social media post, a YouTube video. Storytelling can be anywhere. And the best way to do this is by incorporating personal life stories, anecdotes, real-time experiences, or stories inspired in your audience's experiences. It's basically humanizing your content because your stories are completely unique to you. And to understand a little bit more about storytelling, let's take a look at the 4 P's of storytelling: purpose, people, plot, and payoff. The purpose defines the objective of the story, whether this is to inspire, entertain, motivate, or educate. People represent the characters and the experiences within your story. In most cases, the character will be either you or your client or student or someone you already know, but you can also create fictional characters to tell a story, to simplify complex ideas. The plot comprises the sequence of events, conflicts, and resolutions that create a compelling narrative. And the payoff is basically the emotion that your audience feels after seeing or hearing this story. There are different forms of storytelling that you can start incorporating to your social media content. Let's take a look at some of the most common ones. The first one, and my personal favorite, is personal stories. And it's basically when you share your own experiences in a way that are relatable to your audience, but that also help you seem a little bit more vulnerable and human. For example, for a fitness content creator, this person could share their weight loss journey, inspiring others to embark on their own transformation. Second type of storytelling for social media is client or customer storytelling. This is similar to the personal storytelling, but in this case, it's about your client or customer's transformation and how your product, offers, or programs have helped them in achieving this transformation. These stories are also a great way of social proof, which will in return help you build more credibility in the eyes of your audience. Storytelling type number 3 is brand storytelling. And this is a great way of telling stories that incorporate your offers, your products, or services organically. This could be, for example, the story of why you created a specific program because you saw that there was a massive gap in your market in this specific topic and there was a huge demand. So you created this program to cater these people that really needed to overcome the struggle. Or if you're promoting someone else's product or businesses, you can share a personal story of why this product or service adds so much value to your life, like helping you save time or helping you earn more money, etc. Storytelling type number 4 is educational storytelling. Educational storytelling is when you simplify complex concepts by telling a story around it. A technology YouTuber, for example, might use storytelling to explain the history and evolution of a particular gadget, making it more accessible, easier to understand, and more engaging. And storytelling type number 5 is entertaining storytelling. And these are the stories that are designed to make people cry, laugh, or feel something else. These stories are a great way of breaking your content a little bit. You're allowed to go a little bit off brand, but also by keeping the mood up and increasing your engagement. So now that you've seen the different types of storytelling that you can start incorporating into your content, I want to remind you about the 3 key elements within storytelling that you must never forget to include. First one is emotion. Your stories should always aim to evoke a specific emotion in your audience because this will create a deeper connection, a deeper bond with them. Key element number 2 is authenticity. The story that you tell must be genuine, must align with your voice, with your values, because this will increase credibility as well. And finally, every storytelling content should have a clear structure, starting with a clear hook, a beginning, plot, climax, and closing, to make sure that you keep the viewer engaged and entertained until the end. And last but not least, let's review some of the most effective storytelling techniques that you should start incorporating to your content right now. Number 1 is by using vivid imagery and sensory detail. Imagine you're a travel content creator describing a picturesque sunset in a tropical beach, and you are emphasizing on the warm golden hues painting the sky, the gentle sound of waves crashing against the shore, and the scent of the salty sea in the air. You see how you probably imagined all of these things that I just described? That's the best way of using vivid imagery and sensory detail in your content. Storytelling technique number 2, creating relatable characters. In the case of personal storytelling, the best way is to create your character and make it as relatable as possible. Talk about all of your audience's fears, struggles, challenges from your point of view by telling a story. Maybe you went through all of these challenges as well. So you're creating a relatable character as well, but as I mentioned previously, it can also be a fictional character as long as you are empathizing with your audience. For example, a parenting coach might describe the story of the sleepless nights after having their firstborn child, focusing on the exhaustion and the overwhelm that this situation causes to both parents. This experience is probably something that a lot of people in this parent coach audience is going through. They're gonna relate to this person and it's gonna create a bond. It's gonna create a stronger connection. Storytelling technique number 3, incorporate suspense or surprise. For example, a food content creator could tell the story of how he or she wanted to do this experiment by following this complicated recipe. Then things start to get complicated. They didn't have the ingredients. There was an issue with the kitchen and so on and so forth. And you get curious because you want to know what happens in the end. So these types of elements keep people hooked until the end, making your story more engaging. Storytelling technique number 4, utilize the power of conflict. And this one's quite easy for all of us creatorpreneurs because it's basically talking about the challenges behind a situation, going through moments of self-doubt, financial struggle, fierce competition, and then by showcasing how you have overcome these challenges, which will help you create a narrative of resilience and determination, inspiring your audience. And storytelling technique number 5, use conversational language. Conversational language is the language that your audience would use on a day-to-day basis to have conversation. You can do this by sharing personal anecdotes, jokes, and relatable stories about your own mishaps. By adopting a conversational tone, you will foster a sense of friendship and connection, making your story more enjoyable and relatable. And that is why you need to start mastering the art of storytelling. So, wrapping up storytelling for social media, we've seen today why it is so important that you start mastering the art of storytelling. We've seen how you can start using storytelling for social media, the 4 P's of storytelling, the different types of storytelling content that you can create for social media, the key elements of storytelling, and 5 effective storytelling techniques that you can start using today. Learning and mastering the art of storytelling is not an option anymore. It's actually a necessity. As days go by, there will be more and more content creators competing for the attention of the viewers. And the only way to really stand out is by telling stories that make you relatable, by telling stories that make you more human, by telling stories that make you funny, by telling stories that make them feel something. Remember, generic content, generic information can be found on Google. Your stories cannot. So if you learned something new about storytelling, please like and share this video. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next week for more social media and monetization tips for creators, entrepreneurs, and business owners. See ya.